Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another live stream today. My name is Kenneth Stahl, and the topic of this stream, this video that you're watching, is going to be about procrastination. Procrastination, of course, meaning that you put things off for tomorrow or for a later date because you just don't have the motivation to do it right now. Procrastination is postponing things, and oftentimes people who do postpone things for a later date, they usually don't end up doing what they need to do or what they say they need to do until it becomes an urgent matter. Something like, for instance, if you're like procrastinating, you're not doing your homework, you know what to do in a week from today. You could do it today. It could be fine. You could get it done, or you could wait until the night before it's due and then you start doing it. So this is the idea of procrastination. This is the idea that I want to talk about in this video. I have a few things prepared to talk to you guys about. And hopefully you just enjoy this. So I'm going to try to actually give some valuable, tips for you if you might struggle with this or not. And I'm taking a little bit of the points that I want to make from a couple different sources on different web pages. So I might describe them. One of them I looked at was Psychology Today. You can just look for yourself on those web pages and articles that they've written on procrastination. You can also, I'll link another website here somewhere that I'm going to be reading from. And yeah, so that's it. So I am going to wait for people to join. This is live right now, so there are going to be people who, want to ask me questions or talk to me about maybe other things or whatever. So yeah, I'll just wait for them to come in, and maybe you'll hear from them. I'll read their comments or whatever in the stream. So I think one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this topic today is because I had a very decent day today where I didn't procrastinate like I usually do. What I think you'll usually find, or what I can explain to you, is that in my life, even the smallest of chores, everyday things that you have to do, I struggle with. I procrastinate. I don't do them. So what happens? What happens is the place that I live in right now, I usually don't do the things I need to do, and it becomes messy and unorganized. And sometimes I don't even do little things like doing the dishes or picking up things that I just throw them on the floor and I don't pick them up. So I'm a very messy person. So when it comes to the time where I need to, clean up after myself or whatever, I usually don't do it. So today was interesting because I got a few things done that I've been putting off for a very long time. One of those things is a haircut. So I got a haircut today. I let it grow. I let it get to be unmanageable. And I was like saying for the past 2 weeks, like, I need to get a haircut. And finally I went out today and I did it. Another thing that I did today, just to give you some examples, are I went to the car repair shop or whatever you call it, and I went in for a quick oil change, right? So my car needed an oil change. Again, the oil change light has been on for a few weeks now and I never did it. So finally I got out of my house and I did it. So one of the things that I do a lot is just stay inside. I waste a lot of time, watching YouTube videos, playing video games, just sitting around on the couch. Basically, I'm a lazy person and just kind of a couch potato. So that's kind of the stuff that I struggle with in my life. So the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm making this video, is because I'm trying to share with you guys some of the real problems that I have in my life, and I want to address them. I want to point them out, and I know that many other people struggle with this, and I know that other people are going to want to hear about this. So that's why I want to talk about it today. Maybe get some tips. So I got a comment from someone in the asking how I am doing today. He says that he's had a hard day today, just feeling depressed and doesn't want to do anything. And thank you for telling me that I look good with the haircut and shaved my beard off. So I appreciate it. I'm sorry to hear that you are not having a good day, feeling depressed and everything, don't want to do anything. I've certainly been there myself. Just do what you can, take it easy, whatever, you'll get back into your, regular routine, and you'll feel better after time passes. And if you, I don't really know what to say, honestly, but, I can definitely relate to having bad days. So, I know that one of the problems that I have, which is the topic of procrastination in this video, is that as a result, I think as a symptom of having depression, of you know, struggling with depression, I lack a lot of motivation to do things. And this is a symptom that a lot of people who are depressed have. It's where you just don't feel like you have the energy, you don't feel like you have the strength or the willpower to get things done in your life. And that's kind of where I can relate to a lot of this procrastination. I know a lot of times I would just say, oh, I'm just a lazy person, and just leave it at that and not like really address the problems that are going on. So today I want to talk about things a little bit about that. So one of the greatest books that I could ever recommend to anybody, my favorite book, it's this book right here. I know a lot of people who have depression know about this book, but I'm going to share it with you in case you don't. It's a book by David D. Burns. It's called Feeling Good, the New Mood Therapy. And this book basically talks a lot about depression. There are different chapters on it. This is basically taking the approach of cognitive therapy as a form of, it's really it's allowing yourself to really look at the kinds of things that you internally say to yourself or think to yourself. And it's really like examining those things and then breaking them down and replacing those negative thoughts or the things that might cause you to be depressed or whatever, and give yourself more of a realistic approach to life, which will, solve a lot of the problems that you have. So anyway, in this book, chapter 5 is a chapter called Do Nothingism, how to beat it. So do nothingism is this idea where, it's like procrastination. It's like being lazy. It's basically where you just don't do anything. You're not doing anything productive with your life. You're not taking care of the everyday chores that you need to get done. You're not making big steps to like, make a big change in your life. You're not doing anything. It's do nothingism. So I'm going to read you the first page of this just as an introduction to kind of what this book is about. So, okay, so in the last chapter of this book, you learn that you can change your mood by changing how you think, but there's a second major approach to mood elevation that's enormously effective. People are not only thinkers, they are doers. So it is not surprising that you can substantially change the way you feel by changing the way you act. There's only one hitch. When you're depressed, you don't feel like doing much. So yeah, that is something I just want to point out. There's the one thing I did take away from that, which is the fact that, when you're depressed or when you don't feel good, whatever it might be, a lot of it has to do with the way you're thinking. I talk about this a lot. I point out the fact that sometimes you think to yourself, like, I hate myself, I'm a loser, I can't do anything right. You have all these negative thoughts that are going through your head. It's basically like having a bad attitude. And I address a lot of those points in a lot of the videos on this channel. But the second thing, so if you want to feel better, so going back to the first thing about, your thoughts, if you want to feel better, change the way you think. Stop thinking negatively and start replacing those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. This book does a good job helping you along the way with that kind of problem. But the other way, right, the second way to feel better is to look at what you're doing. And if you're not doing anything, if you have this problem with procrastination or do nothingism, the one way to change yourself to feel better is to start doing things, is to take a more active approach to life. And as you do things, you'll feel better. So anyway, going back to what the book says, second paragraph says, one of the most destructive aspects of depression is the way it paralyzes your willpower. In the mildest form, you may simply procrastinate about doing the few odious chores. As your lack of motivation intensifies, virtually any activity appears so difficult that you become overwhelmed by the urge to do nothing. Because you accomplish very little, you feel worse and worse. Not only do you cut yourself off from your normal sources of stimulation and pleasure, but you lack of productivity. Your lack of productivity aggravates your self-hatred, resulting in further isolation and incapacitation. So essentially, you don't do anything because you're not feeling good, and by not doing anything, it makes you feel worse. And then as you feel worse, you're less likely to do anything, and it's just an endless cycle. So this book talks about that quite a bit. So anyway, so in this book, there are a few different mindsets that are associated with this do nothingism. And there are 13 of them, I believe, that I want to go over, or at least briefly state them all. So the first one is hopelessness. When you feel depressed, you get so frozen in the pain the present moment, that you forget entirely that you ever felt in the past, and find it inconceivable that you might feel more positive in the future. Therefore, any activity will seem pointless because you are absolutely certain your lack of motivation and sense of oppression and unending are unending and irreversible. So basically, you're not going to do anything. If you're gonna, one reason why you might be stuck with this do nothingism, not doing anything, is because you just feel like no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference, right? You're hopeless. Second one, helplessness. You have the feeling that you just can't possibly do anything that will make yourself feel better because you're convinced that the way you feel is out of your control. So in other words, a person with the helplessness problem is sitting there thinking, I'm not going to do anything. I can't do anything about it. I have no power over the way that I feel. So that's just one of the problems that people have. And then number 3, overwhelming yourself. So sometimes you overwhelm yourself into doing nothing. You magnify a task to a degree that makes it seem impossible to do. So this is the idea that you're not gonna take action and solve the problems that are in front of you. You're gonna be stuck doing nothing because you feel like the things that you need to do are just way too difficult. It's overwhelming, right? You're not gonna do something because you don't want to spend the energy to do it. You would rather. This is why you would rather spend your energy doing things that are easier. So by the way, just so you guys know, I'm going over this stuff because these are all things that contribute to procrastination. They contribute to why you aren't doing anything in your life. So I'm basically stating all these things because if you understand the cause of why you're stuck, if you understand the reason why it's hard for you to get motivated to do anything, a lot of these are the reasons why. Number 4 is jumping to conclusions. Okay, number 5, self-labeling. I'm not going to read all of these. Number 6 is undervaluing the rewards. So one of the things that I realized today, so as I explained right away, was that today I had an unusually productive day. In other words, normally I'm stuck with this idea of doing nothing and procrastinating. I procrastinated getting my work done, just simple little things that you would think, why would anybody have a problem doing little things, but I have a problem with these things, just having to run out for a couple hours, getting 3 things done. First thing, I got an oil change in my car. It only took a half an hour. Second thing, I got a haircut. Why would that be a hard thing for me to do? Well, I have this problem of procrastination. I just keep putting it off till the next day, and it eventually just never happens. So I have the problem with that. So today I kind of overcame that. I just went out there and did it. I just did it. I was like, I felt good today, this morning. I said, this is what I need to do, and I just went out there and did it, which usually I have a problem with. So third thing, I went and visited my grandmother. She's 87 years old, and I wanted to go keep her company, say hi to her. I wanted to talk to her, make me feel better. And so yeah, I went out and did that. I haven't seen her since like Christmas time. So yeah, I've had a better relationship with her. So anyway, the point there is that I just went out and did it, right? I felt good today. Normally I isolate myself in my house. I don't do anything, and it just leads me to being more depressed. So a comment here says, I heard if we do something every day for 90 days, it becomes a habit. I feel it's hard to try something new, is how to keep the motivation. Sorry, I totally butchered your comment. Let's see. So yeah, it's not hard to like try something new, but it's hard to get the motivation and keep the motivation. Yeah, a lot of this really is just about self-discipline, how you're able to be in control of yourself. You might feel like you don't want to do something because it's difficult, or because you feel like you don't have the time for it, or you feel like you might lack self-confidence and you're afraid to do whatever it is. And a lot of this just comes down to recognizing the flaw in your own thinking, is to recognize recognizing specifically what is preventing you from making something a habit or doing it every day. What's preventing you? And then once you understand it, just making it happen, right? That's willpower, that's self-discipline, that's self-control. And I think it's really a virtue. It's something that we all want. I mean, if everybody was able to live their life and have the ability to just say, this is what I'm going to do today, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life, and then you just go out there and do it, life would be really easy for everybody. But obviously we all get stuck. It's not easy for us. I've felt the struggle with this, as well as I'm sure you and everybody else has. So yeah. Let's see, I'm gonna put well, I don't know. I found this really good, I'll do it. I found this really good website that helped me understand procrastination a little bit. It was on this website called Student Academic Services. Okay, it's www.sas.calpoly.edu. I don't know what that means. I haven't even looked at the website really. Hold on. I'm gonna put a link in the chat, and if I can do this, why can't I do that? Oh, there we go. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. I'm terrible at computers. Okay, so this is the website that I took a few of the things that I wrote down from. I also went to Psychology Today and read some things in here. So as you can see, I've got different sources here that are credible. I might not be the most credible person, you know, because I can't just know all these things. I have to read up on it. I have to learn. I have to study these things. And I'm just going to provide you with the resources that I have. This website that I posted in the chat on this live stream says that there are 4 simple reasons for procrastination. Number 1, it's difficult. The task seems hard to do. We naturally tend to avoid things difficult in favor of those which seem easy. Number 2 is time consuming. We procrastinate because the task will take large blocks of time, and that large blocks of time are unavailable until, you know, later date, like the weekend. Number 3, lack of knowledge or skills. No one wants to make mistakes, so you wait until you learn more, right? You're not going to, it's kind of like this idea of, when should I start taking action towards something if I don't know what I'm doing yet? I got to keep learning and learning and learning until I know exactly what to do. The problem with this is that if you keep doing that, you're never going to end up actually taking the first step because you feel like you don't know what to do yet. So this is why I kind of mentioned some of these ideas briefly in some of my past videos from years ago, like a year or 2 ago, before I knew any of this stuff. I just kind of understood a little bit of this stuff, you know, without knowing more in depth about it. But yeah, I mean, I would always, this is why, you know, Nike has the slogan, just do it, right? You know, a lot of life coaches, a lot of people that promote motivation and, you know, this idea of personal development, they're all like, you just got to throw yourself into it and you'll learn as you go. Experience is the best teacher, right? So I think that's pretty much what this is saying. It's like oftentimes what people do when they procrastinate, they don't start, you know, they don't start a new big project that they want to start, or they don't want to make any big decisions like taking a chance at you know, trying out a new career or trying to follow your passion or whatever it might be. You don't do it because you're afraid to do it. You know, you don't do it because you feel like you're not going to be the best at it. But like I've said before, when you're going to try something new, everybody who is good at something, all the world's greatest singers and actors and athletes, you know, they never started out as good as they are. They just did it. They just tried. They started it at the beginning. At the beginning, they were no good, but they just continued with it, and they got better. And now they are who they are today. You know, you can fill in the blank with any person who is really amazing at something. So, yeah. So here, this website gives a few ways to resolve things. So this idea of perfectionism, excuse me, saying that you're not going to start something because everything needs to be perfect. Some of the ways to resolve that issue, according to this website, say trying self-reassurance that this effort or version will be good enough. Okay, I don't really know exactly what that means, but also make an effort to praise what you have done. So once you've done something, once you've made a little bit of progress, you know, celebrate that you've made something happen. Number three, it's impossible to eradicate all mistakes. Just realize that, yeah, you're going to make mistakes. I mean, you've heard all this stuff before. So yeah. One other thing that I was going to say, this isn't something I prepared. But today, when I made that effort to, you know, just do these simple chores that I've been procrastinating at for a while now. I've been putting them off until a later date, until finally I did them. And guess what? Now that I've actually, or excuse me, once I did them, I went out today. I had to go get a haircut. I had to go, you know, get my car oil changed and all this other stuff. I ran into somebody at the store. I normally I would just stay in my home all day, isolate myself, sit on the couch all day, watch YouTube videos, do nothing. But today I finally actually went out in the world and actually seen the sunlight, right? Well, I ran into somebody, an old friend of mine at the store, and that made me really happy. It brought this, it's like an unexpected, right? An unexpected event occurred that brought pleasure to me. So if I wouldn't have done this other thing, which I need to do, I wouldn't have had that pleasant surprise. I wouldn't have had that little bit of extra joy in my life if it wasn't for doing something that I procrastinated. So that's just kind of the weird point I wanted to make. That's just something I took away from this and from my day. So okay, so I want to move on and talk more about this book. This book is Feeling Good: The New Mood Therapy, David D. Burns, and you know, it's a clinically proven drug-free treatment for depression. That's how they advertise it. Basically, it's cognitive therapy. Anyway, I'm gonna skip ahead, go over some of these things. So yeah, right here, he talks about if you're procrastinating, there's this activity that you can do, which is basically to just schedule out your day. So I'm gonna show this to you in a minute. And basically, what it is it's a chart. It's a chart here, and in this column on the left, is that the left? Yeah, that's the left. Okay, I just had to make sure. On the left, you plan out your activities, and this goes by the hour. So from 9 to 10 o'clock, you'll write down what you plan on doing for that hour. From 9 to 10 and 10 to 11, you write down different things. And then in the second column over here, you write down the result, what actually happened. So maybe it went better than you thought it would. Maybe it didn't go as good as you thought it would. Maybe you didn't actually do what you said you were going to do, right? You planned that at, you know, 11 to 12 o'clock, you were going to go take care of something, but then you never did it. Well, you can write that down in here. So the idea here is that you just record, you know, exactly what happens. So I'm just reading real quick to see exactly what this says. If there's anything I need to add that's important. Okay, yeah, so there's not really much more I can do about that. Basically, the idea here is that just getting a schedule for yourself, writing down what you need to do, and it's really going to help you actually get it done. Like I just bought a calendar, a big calendar that's like this big, and it has like all the different days of the month on it, and I can just fill it out. Things I want to do, help me schedule everything out. That's just a tool that I'm going to try to implement in my life and see how it affects things. Hopefully I can get more done. Because I mean, that's really the idea here, is that we procrastinate so much that we don't get anything done. And that can be a problem if you're trying to live your life better and work on some things. So yeah, I know that I struggle with it a lot, and I know that other people do. That if I was to really like think about this hard, I would say that one of the reasons why I have a low self-esteem, one of the reasons why I sometimes say to myself that I hate my life, it's because I don't ever do things. Like if I don't feel the satisfaction, I don't feel the reward of accomplishing a goal, then I just feel like I'm not doing anything, and that lowers my self-esteem, and it makes me feel worse. So I think that one of my approaches to really decreasing, like the depression that I have, it's to be more organized and actually accomplish more in my life. That way I can feel better and not have to deal with this do nothingism that I have. So, okay, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick because so I can think about what else to say. So by the way, I did get a new webcam. This is a webcam. It's a little bit better quality than my other one. The other one was just the camera that I had in my laptop. This one's a brand new webcam, and it's not like the highest quality webcam out there, but it's certainly better than what I have. And if I'm going to be doing these live streams quite a bit, then I want to have better quality. So it looks like we're not having a huge turnout for this video. That's unfortunate. I did have a lot of stuff prepared as far as procrastination. I wanted to talk about this. I mean, this is a topic that I'm really interested in. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm lecturing you. I'm sorry if it sounds like, this is just me, just kind of talking over you. Nobody really participated in the chat. One person did. One person participated. So thank you to you. But I saw that, I got up to 5 viewers, and then all of a sudden everybody left now. So I think I'm talking to myself right now, and that's unfortunate. It's really hard for me to like understand what people want from me. Like I've had a lot of success on the videos where I just complain. I have a lot of success, meaning a lot of views and a lot of likes on the videos where I'd say, oh, I'm really depressed today, and I might even cry. I might be really emotional, and I'll be like, I hate my life, I hate everything, and people are like, yeah, I like this video, But then when I come out here with, real credible advice, real things that can actually help people with real problems, and I actually prepare, it seems like nobody's here. Nobody wants to listen to me. I mean, I could just be overly overthinking this right now because, maybe it's just that nobody is here. Nobody has the time to watch a live stream right now. But I can see right now how many people are watching this live stream, and it currently says 0. But it was earlier up to 5, which means that 5 people or more came into the stream and then they left. So I don't know what people want. I really don't. I mean, I can't be the only one to struggle with procrastination. I can't be the only one to struggle with do nothingism. I don't know if I'm just doing a bad job presenting. Normally I take a lot of time and I don't get right into what I need to talk about. I understand that it sounds like I'm lecturing people right now. I'm not really trying to. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling right now, really trying to get over this. Like, this is the kind of stuff that makes me question everything about what I'm doing, because like I came out here with the mission that I want to figure out what's going on with me. I want to figure out what problems I have. I want to figure out how to resolve them so I don't struggle so much, so I don't have depression as bad as I do, or it's not a consistent problem. I want to figure out, what other people who are, well educated and have studied these things, what do they have to say about it? What are some strategies, some things that you can do to really change your situation? And that's why I'm here. And I was hoping that at some point on the channel, as I grow, as I become a better person, I can share those things with you and we can grow together. I guess it's just really hard to see that, like, people don't like all these kinds of videos. So I'm having a hard time figuring out how I'm supposed to make a difference. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to actually impact people's lives, and actually, like, uh, I mean, I've always kind of said, like, hey guys, I'm not a professional. I have no experience with a lot of things, um, but I will try to do my best, and just be authentic and be myself and share what I've gone through, and hopefully that's enough. And you guys have, received that really well. Oh, excuse me. And yeah. So I guess I'm just struggling right now. All right. So it's been a half an hour. I really advise that you check out this book if you don't have it already. This is a really good. This is a book where I get a lot of my information from, as well as I'll put a link to this other website that I read from in the description. There's also, articles on Psychology Today, about procrastination and everything. So I was trying to like make this whole video about procrastination. It's kind of what I was doing. And I was happy because today I actually took care of some important things in my life. Um, and I felt good. And I had this idea that, um, I'm going to start waking up every morning, and instead of going straight to the TV and turning on YouTube, and instead of sitting on the couch, when I wake up, I have like a few things that I do every morning, like a routine, like after showering and eating, maybe read something, educate myself on topics that are important or whatever, and then do some exercise or some sort of physical activity, and then plan out my day, and then maybe think about YouTube and this channel and what video I want to make, or some ideas, brainstorming or whatever. And I thought that would really help me be more productive. And so, hey, looks like we got a person in the chat now. Hello, Mr. Funny Clips. Everybody seems to have left, so it looks like it's just you and me for right now. I was just complaining for a few minutes about how everyone left. I had like 5 or 6 people come in here, and then they all just disappeared. I think that I was lecturing too hard. I think that like I was really taking a lot of time. I was like covering the topic of procrastination, and I was like, here's some tips, or here's where the problem is at. This is why people procrastinate. And I think they all kind of got put off by that. I was actually trying to like provide like real like insight or valuable like information that like could actually help people with the problem of procrastination, like myself. And then they just all left. So I was just basically complaining for like 5 minutes to myself that I don't know what people want. Like I try to like help people, but it seems like everybody just wants to see me like struggle and like talk about how unhappy I am. And I'm trying to get through this. I don't want to be unhappy anymore. I want to become a confident person. I want to have my life organized. I want everything to be cool. But yeah, so it looks like it's just you and me right now. Feel free I'm probably gonna end the stream actually early this time because I'm not having that great of a turnout. And I said pretty much everything that I want to say. So yeah, I put a link in the chat here, and it's to this website. I have no idea what kind of website they are. I tried to look at it, but it just kind of laid things out for me in a way that helped me understand, a little bit better about the reasons why people procrastinate and other things. So I don't know how valuable it is to people, but I don't know. I was just trying to throw something together before I started the stream. So yeah. So one of the other things that I read somewhere was about one of the, when it comes to procrastination, the problem that people have is that it's hard to really get motivated. It's hard to like find the strength to do what you need to get done, and or do what you want to do, I should say. And one of the suggestions by an article in Psychology Today was to boost your positive emotions. In other words, when you get into a better mood, when you find things or people or events that you're a part of that you enjoy, that make you feel good, once you reach that state of feeling good, you're gonna have more willpower and ability to just have that self-discipline to just do what you need to do. So in other words, it's like when you're depressed, when you don't feel good, you're not going to have the motivation. But when you do feel good, everything's just a breeze. You can just do whatever you need to do. So yeah. Um, um, yeah, one of the things that happens to a lot of people is, like for instance, people who are in school who have homework, their assignment might be due next week, but they don't do it until the night before, because they think, oh, I have more time to do it tomorrow, or I'll do it the next day. But what finally gets people to actually get things done is they realize that it's an urgent thing, like it has to be done right now or else, and they're kind of given an ultimatum. And I think one of the things that people could do is just have this idea, like like you have to do it now. Like your life is short. If you don't do it today, then you're not gonna be able to do other things tomorrow or whatever. So sometimes you can kind of develop, I think, or build this mindset, which allows you to always have this urgency to everything that you do. Which I don't know if that could cause more problems. I don't really know. I'm just kind of thinking. I might be thinking about this too much, but yeah. So I've kind of exhausted a lot of the thoughts that I've had about procrastination. Again, I'm not somebody who really knows a lot about all this, but I am learning, and I just wanted to share with people like what I learn and what I think, as I read up on this stuff, as I face the problems like in my life in reality, and yeah. So, okay. Well, I appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys do want to ask me about anything you want to, you can. Otherwise, I feel like I'm probably going to end it fairly soon. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to try to read some more things on the internet and see if I can get inspired to make some more points, to talk about things more deeply. Okay, so you just asked me in the comments, hey, Kenny, what are your goals here? You mean like on YouTube? You mean with my channel? Because I mean, one of the big goals, one of the place where all this kind of comes from is I have all these problems in my life, and I want to figure out what's going on. Why do I have all these problems, and then how can I resolve them? How can I make my life better? So part of this is just kind of learning all these things myself, and as I make videos and I talk about all this stuff, it helps me. It's kind of like a form of therapy. It allows me to reflect on things deeply, and also I want to have other people watch me do this. Part of the reason is because when people are part of this, we can have a conversation going. It goes two ways. So I can say things, and then you can say things to me, and which is why I've been doing a lot of these live streams lately, because it really makes it easier for us to have a direct conversation with each other, like I'm doing right now. So, but the other thing is that I understand that there are going to be people that are ahead of me in many areas, a lot of people that are more successful than me, or people that don't have the problem with, let's just say, self-esteem. Like I have a problem not being confident, and I have a problem, with procrastination. But some people might not have a problem with procrastination. They might not have a problem with having low self-esteem, but they also might have some of these other mental health issues like anxiety or just depression or whatever. So since we don't have the same problems, you know, you can help me with the problems that I have, and I can help you with the problems that you have, or give advice or whatever it might be. So it's just kind of a way to kind of, it's kind of like this idea that we're both on the same team, right? We're both trying to figure out, you know, some of the things about our lives. We're trying to figure out what we can do. We're trying to we're seeking new information. We're seeking new opportunities. We're trying to um, get things to be more clear for us, right? Because sometimes it can be confusing. Other times, you know, you just don't want to feel like you're alone. You want to feel like other people relate to you. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, is because it allows everybody, me and you and the other people watching the videos, it allows us all to kind of grow together. And I kind of want to be the person kind of as the face of this, which is my YouTube channel. But you can go off and you can start your own channel talking about the exact same things, and then we'll be, you know, doing the same thing in parallel to each other. You know, but as far as this channel goes, one of the things that comes from my own some of my insecurities kind of throughout life, you know, I never had close friendships when I was growing up, so I kind of felt alone a lot. I felt really lonely, and I felt like I didn't have any attention from people that I wanted to have attention from, whether that was girls in high school and middle school, or whether that was, you know, the cool kids or whatever it was. And, you know, so now I'm just kind of like a few years, like I'm 21 right now, 4 years out of high school. So I'm 4 years past that whole wanting to be one of the cool kids, wanting to have all the girls like me. I mean, everybody still, as they get older, wants to like be attractive to like girls or guys or whoever. But you know, because I think I've lacked the confidence, and I've lacked the attention from others. I do want to put myself in the spotlight. Like, I do want to be like the guy that you love and adore and everything. So I think that part of me is fueled by that idea that I want to be in the spotlight, right? I want you to like me. I want that. I want to be liked, right? I mean, who doesn't want to be liked? We all want to feel love. We all want to give love. We all want to receive love. I know that a lot of times in my past, I've been rejected for various things, which is basically the idea going along with what I just said, where I've given out that love, where I've attempted to kind of show someone that I like them, or I want to be a part of their club, or I want to be one of them, and just kind of getting rejected for whatever reason. So the idea here is like, part of me wants that attention, but also what I've learned is that you know, it's not entirely just, oh, I want attention, because I can honestly say I'm not just an attention whore, but I realize that there's nothing special about me. And I think that's something that a lot of people need to come to realize, or I think it can at least be helpful to certain people. I don't know who, but sometimes people need to realize that you're not special. You're not going to be number one. You're not going to be, you know, the most important person in the world that everybody wants to see. And so part of my approach to making these videos is to explain to people, like, yeah, I'm just a guy. In fact, I'm kind of a guy who doesn't know a lot. I'm a guy who you know, still has all these struggles, and I don't have everything figured out. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. I didn't go to school. You know, I'm a college dropout. I have depression. So a lot of it is just saying, guess what? You get what you get, right? Like, I'm not gonna. So it's not. I don't know exactly everything about why I'm doing this, but yeah, I mean, the vision that I have for this moving forward is that, you know, I can help people eventually, and I can help myself, and I don't know, just there's a perfect combination of all the different things that allow me to do this. Yeah, so I do want to go somewhere with the channel. I would like it to obviously grow. I would like to have a bigger audience. Uh, but for what it is right now, I'm happy with it. I'm not making any money off the videos. One of my goals in the future would be to be able to do something, if I ever get to the point at all in the future. If at any point I get to, like, to have like 100,000 subscribers, which that's kind of pushing it. I don't know if I'd ever get to that amount, but even 10,000 or whatever it might be, to be able to make, you know, $100 or a couple $100 a month somehow would be nice. Whether that's just donations from people that are generous, or whether that's from, you know, maybe I'll come up with something that you guys would want to have that you'd be willing to pay for. But at this point, I'm not going to shove any kind of thing down people's throats. I'm not going to oversell things. I'm not going to pretend to have like the best stuff for people. But yeah, at one point I would like to be able to earn something, because I feel a little gypped because my AdSense account was disabled and I can't even make money off of the advertisements and everything. So let's see. At least I seem comfortable on camera. Yeah, I've had to really learn how to become comfortable on camera, actually. Um, I've really overcome a lot of my shyness. I've overcome a lot of the problems that I've had. Um, One of the things is that I've just done a lot of studying about like what makes good conversation skills. I took a lot of interest in public speaking, which some of the strategies that are used in public speaking and giving presentations, it carries over into YouTube videos. Yeah, pretty much to me, it's the same idea. So doing this it's easy for me because I'm confident when I'm in front of the camera. I'm confident if I was to ever like give a speech in front of like a real audience, like I would probably be comfortable doing that. The problem is when I'm in other situations where I'm just in like a group of friends, or if I'm in like with a group of people that maybe I don't know too well, like friends of friends, like I tag along with some people that I don't really know very well. I might not be this confident, and usually that's when my social anxiety comes out, and when I'm not comfortable. But in this kind of situation, it's just kind of grown on me. I've been actually actively pursuing wanting to get in front of the camera. If I could be in front of the camera every single day, I would. If I could be giving a speech in front of an audience every single day, I would. So yeah. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for participating and asking questions and making comments. Like I said, I think you're the only one here. I don't know how many people it says are watching this right now. One, yes, that's what I thought. You, hello, Mr. Funny Clips. All right. You know, I think I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you so much for talking to me, and I am going to hold on. I'm reading your comment right now. If I could do something along with talking, it would make more interesting videos. What do you mean by that? Like going out, like taking a camera with me and like vlogging, like a lot of these big YouTubers do, like showing you like what I do with my day. Doing something along with talking, or do you mean like yeah, like having something to hold up, or like using a whiteboard or something? Um, I do want to do that. That is actually something that's been on my mind. That's been something that's been on my mind for a long time. The problem with like doing like the regular vlogging like people do, like going out and showing you what I do with my day, is the fact that the problem is that I don't have an interesting life. Like there's not much to show you. The most interesting things about me are what's in my head. Like the only thing that I really have to share with people are the thoughts and the ideas that I have. I'm that guy. I'm the guy who's always in his head. I'm the guy who thinks about things all the time, but I don't always actively do things. I've always struggled with thinking about like what can I show you. Believe me, it's something I think about. It's something I want to do. Um, Different surroundings, yeah, I do want to go. You know, maybe when it gets warmer where I'm at, because it's winter. There's not snow right now. The snow melted, but there was snow. So maybe I'll go outside and go places for videos. I would like to do that. I like that suggestion. Sometimes, honestly, if people don't suggest it like in the comments or whatever, I usually won't do it. But maybe just because you're saying you want it, maybe I'll just do it. Sometimes I have to have somebody actually say, hey, I would like you to do this before I actually do it. It's kind of going back to the idea of procrastination. You know, if you don't have somebody there with you, you know, to like you said, hold you accountable for each other, or be accountable for each other, sometimes things don't get done. So that's also why I need feedback a lot on these videos, because when I get feedback, then you know, it's easier for me to make decisions and have that pressure. If you think about it, some, like, I don't know, this is just kind of abstract thinking, but if you really think about like the times where you've been motivated to do things, or the times where you've actually taken action in your life, or made a decision to change something about yourself, it usually coincides with some sort of pressure from an outside force. In other words, that means some person was giving you criticism, or that means that you know, you had to get a job, because if you didn't get the job, you didn't have any money and you couldn't buy the things you wanted to buy. So that's like pressure that's put on you, again, with a sense of urgency. Or you know, you had some sort of health problem, like your body's starting to break down, you know, and or you're gaining a lot of weight, and you realize that you have to start losing weight or start treating your body better because of some medical thing. You know, once you have the outside pressure on you, then you can start getting done what you need to get done. So yeah, I mean, if it was as easy as me just saying, okay, I'm going to start making better videos, okay, I'm going to start I'm going to start, you know, doing better vlogs, bringing you out places and doing things more interesting, or I'm going to make, you know, just whatever it is. I have a problem with this because I don't have anybody to hold me accountable for it. So, yeah, it's like going off my own just self-discipline and willpower. A lot of times it doesn't work. A lot of times, I don't get anything done. And that's why my life isn't, getting as better as quickly as you know, what as what I would like it to. So all right, I appreciate you, excuse me, I appreciate you being here. I'm actually going to end it right now. This video has been going on for 50 minutes, and although I enjoyed your conversation, I need to get going. And so yeah, thank you for doing this, or thank you for commenting, excuse me. Yeah, so if you need to contact me, you know, personal messages and stuff, you can you know, find me on Facebook and send me messages there, or you can send me a message here on YouTube privately, and I usually respond to those if you give me a question, or you know, you have something, or I can do your email. All right, here, I'll give you my email in the chat. And I don't know why that, sorry. And then, yeah, there's different ways that you can get in contact with me. So, oh, that did do it. Okay. I thought I typed it wrong because it was like weird. All right. Anyway, sorry, that's it for this video. And everybody watching right now is wondering what the heck I was doing. I was typing something in the comments, exchanging emails, and yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in later streams and later videos. All right. Bye. This was an awkward ending. All right, cool.